Hi, it's Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot with another soul lessons. So as you can see, I have got a group of 3. I'm going to be using 3 different decks with each pile. And what I would ask you to do is just, as I put on the thumbnail and the description, just choose whatever timestamp that you're drawn to instead of actually having like a crystal to choose or something like that. So whatever timestamp that you're drawn to, timestamp 1, 2 or 3, which I will put down in the description box. And yeah, and then I thought we'll go from there instead of doing that. So let's get straight to it. Let me just move these over to the side. Okay, so these first 2 cards here, we have got a prominent past life lesson, and then what's called the archetype is kind of like what type of person you actually were. So the lesson for group number 1 in the past was walking the middle path. So walking the middle path, your lesson may have involved finding balance in your life and a middle path between extremes, such as between self-indulgence and self-denial, give and take, yin and yang, or burnout and rest. Or maybe you needed to learn to let go of all or nothing or black and white thinking, so you just couldn't, it was just sort of an extreme, you found it very hard to walk the middle path. Now this is kind of interesting because the archetype that actually came up was torturer in the card, actual torture. So in a past life, you might have been a person who inflicted a witch phobia, which refers to the fear of witchcraft and magic in the Middle Ages, which caused people to be accused of witchcraft, tortured to make confessions, or put to death. Physical torture on another, or physical torture I should say on another. Perhaps this was part of your job, such as if you were someone who worked in law enforcement or for the Inquisition. Torture has been used throughout history as a way to get individuals to confess to crimes, misdeeds, or heresy. It has also been used to dominate, humiliate, or overpower others, such as during wars or hostage situations. Some forms of execution involved torture as well. So I'm also going to pull some tarot cards, okay? But I think what I will do is just talk about these 2. So this is the your past life, okay? So walking the middle path and torturer. So perhaps today in this particular life, well, actually, I'm going to leave it up like that because this is your current life lesson, which is, actually, no, I don't think that fits in. I'm actually sitting up on a higher stool, so I can actually, that's better. Okay, so your current life lesson for group number 1 is actually seeing the bigger picture, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? Because you've got walking the middle path here. So I think in the past life, you were very, very hesitant to sort of choose a side. Mainly you would sort of did what you were told, particularly if you were a torturer as well. I mean, you only have to, if anybody's read about the Inquisition, it's absolutely awful. So with your current life lesson, your lesson may have involved learning to see a bigger picture. Maybe you needed to become less myopic or superficial. Through learning to see the bigger picture, you had the opportunity to achieve greater understanding, foresight, depth, and concern for others and the world around you. So perhaps in the past life, you're struggling to pick a path, deciding which way you wanted to walk, even though you very may have been someone who tortured other people to get confessions out of them. You could have been a hangman or in the Inquisition or whatever. But you were still very divided in doing that. And so in this particular life, you come here to actually see the bigger picture. Now it's very, very interesting because in this particular life at the moment, we're going through COVID, we've been going through the Black Lives Matters and things like that, and you more or less probably were very switched off to it all. It didn't really bother you enough to do anything about it, if that makes sense. So instead, in this life, you're learning to see, how other people feel, how other Indigenous people feel, and it's opened up your eyes a bit through doing this, okay? And you're starting to actually, achieve a greater understanding of what's going on in the world, what people, what's actually happening to people. I know in Canada, where that school where they murdered so many children. They've only been laid to rest in their tribal grounds. You know, perhaps that's really affected you, where before you may have brushed it off, you know. So right now, your current life lesson is to see the bigger picture, is to see what behind the media portrays. Really, you have to do your own research, not to believe what you read all the time. Okay, you don't believe what the media says about COVID or about even about Black Lives Matter. Go and study it for yourself. Talk to people who've been through it. You know, that kind of thing. And the interesting, your archetype in this one is famine. So this actually is asking, where do you feel deficient or lacking? What you need to sustain? What do you need to sustain yourself? Where are you going through a dry spell in your love life, or where do you perceive that you lack the necessary affection you need to feel nourished? Or where is a current relationship leaving you feeling starved or malnourished? Most importantly, how can you learn to better care for and nurture yourself? So perhaps even you have been very blasé about looking after yourself, okay? You know, your health, you eat what you want, you don't exercise, you don't do any type of spiritual self-care. And I think it's kind of funny actually, because the feminine, when I'm thinking about my spirituality, because I grew up without absolutely any religion whatsoever in my family. My parents are very against the church, which I've spoken about in previous videos, but I never knew it was really lacking into my life until I found my spirituality. So I didn't even know that I was actually hungry for spirituality. So what are you hungry for in this life? What is it, you know? I mean, you might be horrified to see that, you know, in a past life that you were a torturer, but, you know, the torture covers a wide range of things too. You could have tortured yourself. You could have, you know, even though it says you could have been an executioner, but you could have been one of those priests that used to whip themselves and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot to sort of take in when you're looking at these particular past life lessons and how you actually work, because the archetype is more or less the type of personality that you had in a past life and what you've got in the current life. So, you know, what are you starving yourself of in this life, and what is it that you need to do to actually see the bigger picture in this type of thing? All right, so we'll put those to the side now, and the Hush Tarot come out for you, of which I have edged. And what I've done is I've actually asked some questions about this. So the first card is going to be how your past, what your past life brings to your present life. Okay, so I'll just give them, I won't hang over and show you how I shuffle them because my hands are still, you know. All right, so this card come up straight away. So this is what your past life brings to your present life, okay? And here we have got the Queen of Cups. Have a look at that, the Queen of Cups. So this is what your past life brings to your present life. All right, so we've got the Queens of Cups. So now we've already got, you know, we've had the Torturer, and we've had, oh, what was the first one to use? Yes, that's right. The Torturer was the first one, and Walking the Middle Path. All right. So this is for your past life. So really, when you're looking at the Queen of Cups, is a very emotional particular card, isn't it? It can be. And this one, when I first saw it, I actually thought it was the Queen of Swords because of all the swords on there. So what this is telling me, what your past life brings to your present life, is that you hide your feelings. You've built this great big wall around your actual mind. You can see the bird in the nest has got a key there. You can see that, you know, she's really hidden behind these vines and these flowers. And because these flowers are blue, it seems to me that in your past life you had trouble speaking up. So even though you may have had to torture people and put them to death, or, you know, you tortured yourself, you really had trouble sticking up for yourself, speaking up for yourself. And I feel that this kind of drags over into this life, that you guard your thoughts really, really well. Nobody really knows where you stand, okay? They're not really sure where you stand because you just guard your thoughts really, really well. I feel like that you're a very deeply emotional person, but you're really hiding behind it. You want to speak, you really want to speak up. Look at these flowers. You really do want to speak your truth, but I think your past life has made you wary of this, because in the past, if you had spoken your truth, very well you could have ended up dying as well. Okay, you could have been put to death. So in consequence, walking the middle path makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because you really had to do that to survive. And I think you've brought that over now, that you're a very deeply emotional person, but you're too scared to unlock your thoughts and reveal what you're actually thinking. All right. So actually this card might have already said it, but the second position is how it is affecting you right now. That one come up right away. How is it affecting you right now? Look at that, people. Look at what we have got. We have got the Three of Swords. How is it affecting you now? I think there's a lot of heartache. You're carrying a lot of heartache. Now, usually I see the Three of Swords as a new life direction that is as yet unknown. But sometimes the Three of Swords does mean heartache for me. And I'm thinking that this one does. This is definitely, actually, I'm not make sure that is the Swords and not the Three of Wands. Hang on. Oh, no, sorry, that is the Three of Wands. Yeah, I always get that because that very much looks like a sword. But yeah, no, there you go. So it's actually the Three of Wands. So how is it affecting you right now? Is, well, this is quite easy, is you don't really know what direction to take. You want to speak your mind, you want to reveal your thoughts, but you're not too sure how to go about it. I mean, we all know that if we express our thoughts sometimes on social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., you know, it really can rile some people up and bring out the worst in them. And so I feel that these crows are your thoughts spinning around and around and around in your mind, you know, wanting to do something, but you're not really sure exactly what to do. Okay, there's three different directions, much like I get with the Three of Swords. There's three different directions that you can take, but I think you're afraid, because if you look at this one, you know, this one is really bound up. But I think that's what you're afraid of, being tied up, that if you make a decision that you're going to be tied up to that decision for a long time, maybe many years to come, or months or weeks or whatever, and you're not too sure how you feel about that, and if you want to do that, so hence you haven't really made a decision on what direction that you want to go in. So this is probably how it's affecting you right now. You just don't really know where to go and what to do. Okay, I'll just move that to the side. So the next one is action to take. So let's have a look what the action to take is. I absolutely love these cards. I don't use them enough. So let's have a look at the action to take. Okay, so you've got two cards here. Oops. Oh no, I'm going to drop the whole lot. Okay. Right, grab them. Oh, that's why I don't show myself shuffling on the... So action to take, the Star come up, and the Knight of Wands. Interesting, isn't it? So action to take. So really, I think what this is saying is, now it's quite interesting that you've got a skull on here and it's got a little hunting we will go, and I think that's exactly what you've got to do, as the Knight of Wands implies, that you need to truly pursue what it is that you want. This it's interesting because what I'm really pulled to the skull here. So if you really were a torturer, I think that this weight, even if you were torturing yourself, has really come over into this life. It's really affecting you. You may feel sadness for reasons that you don't even know why. You may suffer from depression, anxiety, and you're not really sure why. And I think it's because in the past you didn't follow your own star. You listened to what other people were telling you to do, and you did it without question. Of course, it could have been the times that you lived in. You know, it's just, you know, there's many reasons that you could to reason why you're feeling the way you do. So with the Star here as action to take with the Knight, I think you need to, because what I'm pulled to with this one is the Cardinal. Now, I do believe red cardinals are often messages from Spirit. I've read a lot of stories about when family members or loved ones die, that they see a cardinal. There was the most gorgeous video going around of a couple of older women whose mother came to visit them in the form of a cardinal. It was her favourite bird, and that just sat on their shoulder for ages. Like, I'm talking about like an hour or something like that. So I feel like that Spirit is trying to get in touch with you in some way. So if you haven't got any type of spirituality in your life, look for it. Look for one that suits you. I'm very pulled to this figure here that actually looks like to be an angel. I feel angels may actually have been trying to contact with you and you haven't really noticed. I mean, I've said time and time again, before I knew I had breast cancer, a good year before, perhaps a bit more, every time I was scrying in my crystals, I saw angels. I saw angels in everywhere. And I'm even talking in my coffee, you know, when you sprinkle the chocolate on top of your cappuccino, I'd get messages in there as well. And I kept saying to everybody on my YouTube channel, oh, you know, the angels are with you, you know, don't worry about it, never realizing it was for myself. So I feel like that, you know, spirit is definitely trying to get in contact with you. Definitely I feel angelic energy as well. So if you were a priest that used to whip yourself, excuse me, maybe the angels are trying to tell you not to beat yourself up about it, literally, you know. I think some type of spirituality will help you, but just like that says, you're going to have to hunt for it. You're going to have to find out what it is that suits you. Know, everyone knows I'm a witch, I'm a pagan, but angels have made a big impact on my life. Like, I couldn't even tell you how many signs I get from angels, to the point where when I was going through treatment and still being able to walk, I saw a man's work boot imprint in the mud, and there was an angel figure in that actual you know, in the boot print. And like I was talking about my coffee before, I was actually sitting on the edge of my bed and I was praying, asking them to heal me, like, you know, everything like that. And I went and made my coffee, and there was an angel figure of, there was a figure of I knew it was me sitting on my bed, an angel holding my hand. So I knew they heard me, and I knew they hear me. And I've got going to make another video about some signs, actually, because it's blown me away, another sign of God. So this is the action to take. You need to hunt for your type of spirituality. Okay, now if you are really because this is black, and though it looks like an angel, if you are really feel kind of negative about angelic energy, it could be to do with your past life, because you had to kill in their name. So take that into account. Okay, so the next card is going to be a message from your past life. All right, so let's have a look. A message from your past life. No, I don't want 3 cards. A message from your, oh, that one's come up straight away. Okay, and here we have got the 10 of Cups. Now I'm going to run out of room, aren't I? So I'll just put it there. Okay, so this is a message from your past life, so from you yourself. Okay, and what this is telling me is that yes, you can be happy. Okay, I mean, don't forget we've got the Queen of Cups here. You can be happy in this life. All right, you just need to decide. Again, you know, got lots of birds in this. I know they do have lots of birds in this deck, but cranes are actually a symbol of happiness. And in Lenormand, the stork always brings good news. Not only babies, but the stork is considered very lucky, because in Europe, if a stork builds a nest on your house, it's considered to be very, very lucky. So this actual message from your past self is that you can be happy in this life. Okay, you can be happy. All right. So now we're going to have a message from your guides. Look, I didn't even get to shuffle that. One just popped up straight away. And what do we got here? We have got the 7 of Wands. And again, don't give up, okay? Don't give up. Because the 7 of Wands to me is always a card of when you're just about to let go and give up. But it's telling you, you've only, you know, not to give up. You've only got a little bit more to go, and you will be successful. Don't forget that message. A hunting we will go, okay? A hunting we will go. You've got to hunt, you've got to pursue it. And you've got to be really focused, like this woman is on the card, really focused on what it is you want, okay? So that's a message from your past self, is not to give up, because I feel like perhaps in your past life that you did give up, okay? You gave up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. So now we're going to have a message from your guides, all right? A message from your guides, and that one come up straight away as well. And this is the Ace of Wands. Absolutely beautiful, the Ace of Wands. And what really attracts me is the eyes looking at each other. So obviously your guides have been trying to get your attention, okay? Get your attention, just like mine were when before I realized I was sick. They've been trying to get your attention. Now, interestingly, I'm very pulled to the ant here, and the ants are very, very busy. You know, we all know they clean up nature and things like that. I feel like that you, right there on your face, you might be getting like a tingling situation, feel like somebody's touching you. That's your guides, okay? That is your guides, your angels, whatever, touching you. When I do spirit messages and if I feel angels are near, I get a tingling feeling, okay, somewhere on part of mostly mine, like right now it's happening, is on the back of my head. This is where I'm feeling it. Now I'm also, what I'm attracted to here as well is the flowers are very similar. You may have been for some reason noticing this particular type of pink flower on your walks, and that might have a meaning for you in some way. The color pink may have a meaning for you. Actually, the angel Ariel is associated with this color, and that's an angel that's got to do with who looks after the well, the earth, kind of, you know, she's of the fae, of the sea, of, you know, everything to do with nature, you know, this is an angel that has come to me, and I thought I couldn't think of a more perfect angel for someone who's a pagan, you know, who's really into the earth and things like that. So the Ace of Wands is your guides telling you that you can be successful, okay? No matter what you do, you can be successful, all right? You've just got to see what it is. There's lots of wands in here, okay? In fact, they're all wands except for 2 cups. So, you know, you don't forget you've got the star card there as well. So that is your message from your guides. You might notice, you know, and I feel like I don't know, I feel like somebody's, did you have a grandmother who used to like little sparrows or something who liked these type of pink flowers? If that's so, I feel like she's watching over you. You might see this type of little bird around a lot, pink flowers a lot. I think, I keep getting grandmother. I think you've got a grandmother type. If it's your maternal grandmother, I get maternal grandmother, or someone who you thought of as a grandmother is definitely watching over you, particularly when you sleep, because she looks like to be sleeping. And I feel like even though her eyes are open, when you sleep, you're not really sleeping because your spiritual eyes open. That's why we get messages in dreams and so forth like that. So, you know, don't forget your current life lesson was seeing the bigger picture and famine. Don't starve yourself for what you want, okay? Don't starve yourself. Go for it, because you can do it. All right? This is probably going to be a long video. I've just noticed. But yeah, I don't know if I can keep doing 3 piles, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. Now, I should say that all the messages with the past life oracle I have gotten out of the book, just so that you know. So for group number 2, your past life lesson was overcoming fear and the anarchist. Okay. Oops, go like that. Overcoming fear. All right, so with overcoming fear is, overcoming fear, insecurity, paranoia. Perhaps you felt challenged to take more risks or show courage in the face of adversity. And in a past life, you may have been a challenging and freedom-loving individual who was resistant to authority and unafraid to stand up to it. You did not like feeling restricted or limited by others or those with power. If someone told you to colour inside the lines, you would likely colour outside of them to prove a point, okay? Now, interestingly, because with this particular book, with it comes to the archetype cards, they have a meaning for the past life and the current life. But even for the current life, this can actually be applied to your actual current life now. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? So you might be a rebel in this particular life as well, standing up for. And I think there seems to be a lot more protesting nowadays, doesn't there? And I think we are standing up for each other and people more than what we used to do as well. All right. So, and then your current life lesson is greed, and it was the did I get, yeah, that's right. I just wanted to make sure I had the right one, distant relation there. So greed as your current life lesson. So you may have involved letting go of greed and being miserliness. I can't pronounce it. Your challenge may have been to learn to cherish the simple things in life. knowing that you possessed enough to be happy and content. And this is kind of interesting because being so much of the world in lockdown and not being able to go out, there's been a big trend towards baking at home again, like baking your own bread, making dinners from scratch, learning how to knit, crochet, being self-sufficient, gardening. There's a lot of things of good that has come out of it, believe it or not, out of this actual this COVID, if you can believe it, really. But there is a lot of good because, you know, we do waste a lot of the earth's resources. So if you had in your current life have been a bit greedy, this COVID may have hit you between the eyes. You may have not even realized that you were greedy. I mean, this is quite funny because I actually suffer from greed. I have to say it. So I haven't started up reading tarot professionally yet because I want to make sure I'm, 100% before I actually do that. That's why I've been doing my YouTube videos to see, how I'm going. But I'm not going to set up the website up again yet until I'm, 100% better. But when I used to get money from the tarot, I would just go and spend it, wouldn't I? Buy tarot decks and everything. My husband said to me, he goes, "You're greedy, He said, "Why is it that always my money has to pay the bills and things like that?" And I thought, he's right. I am like that. I am a bit greedy. And I know why I am, because in my previous marriage, we never had any money whatsoever. I never had any money whatsoever to call my own. Because, I got married young. I was married at 21 or 20, had my baby, first child at 21. So, I was pregnant when I got married. So, I didn't really have much. And this is something that I struggle with, of not being greedy, to be more giving. All right. So your archetype has come up as a distant authority. So this is actually saying that you're someone with grace and authority. Others often grant you their recognition and respect. You fulfill this role with humility and without needing to be dominant or commanding. So I suppose it's kind of funny that you've got greed and then you've got such a good, an actually fantastic type of what am I trying to say? Like a nice archetype as well. So perhaps you've already overcome this. Maybe you were like this earlier on in your life and you've already overcome it, and people look up to you for it because you've really beat it. You've really sort of beaten it as well. All right, so I'll just put them to the side here. And the Isabel Snail came up for you. I wanted to use this deck for that one. I just love this deck. So let's have a look at what your past life brings to your present life. So let's have a look. Oops. Yeah, that one come up right away. And here we got the 8 of Wands. What your past life brings to your present life. So the 8 of Wands is kind of interesting, isn't it? I'm just thinking at the moment. Just thinking at the moment. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of interesting because it's what your past lives brings to your present life. I feel like because it's got overcoming fear there, that I feel like that you get a lot of unexpected. I don't know if this is true or not, but have you been hearing things lately? Have you been seeing things that you not normally would? I feel like that spirits are trying to get in contact with you, and you have been a little bit hesitant to open your eyes and truly look, because this is your past life. So your past life was overcoming fear, and if it's overcoming fear, it could mean that you might have been psychic in a past life, but you just shut it all down. You didn't like it, okay? You didn't like it at all, and hence that's why you were a narcissist, because you were you're always challenging things and resistant to authority and stuff like that. So even though, if you had been psychic in a past life, but you were, you used to get challenged for it and you stood up for yourself, but I don't think you really believed in yourself, and they may have actually dampened your enthusiasm for it. That's what I'm thinking. Now this, because don't forget that this actually can be applied to your current lifetime as well. So if you shut it, you know, and overcoming fear as a lesson couldn't have not necessarily been for yourself. It could have also been trying to let other people know that, you know, such things as, you know, spirits are true, or whatever it may have been anyway, and that's why you're a bit of a rebel in it, sort of thing. But don't forget what your part, this position actually is, what it brings to your present life. And I think because we know Eight of Wands can be news from a distance, the great outdoors and that sort of thing, but I'm getting news from a distance, like really high above. Like I'm getting the spiritual realm news from a distance, okay? That's how far I'm getting it. And I feel like that because this is in your present life, that you have been getting messages lately. Because, you know, this one thing that COVID has taught us is for, I mean, it doesn't bother me being alone, I'm a hermit, but for a lot of other people, it has made them be alone perhaps for the first time in their life. They're just not used to it, okay? So, perhaps because you are at home a lot, you've been hearing things that you don't normally do, and I think this comes from you know, from your past life. It's overcoming fear. So if you're seeing, hearing things, smelling things, tasting things, really look at it. Look where it's coming from. Where do you think it's coming from, and trust yourself, because this is what your past life is bringing to your present life. What is it that you don't trust yourself in? Are you getting messages that you don't really trust yourself of? You know. The Wands is a very fiery energy as well, you know, very, very fiery, we know that. And it's funny, I just got burned at the stake. I wonder if you were burnt at the stake, I don't know. I'll leave it at that, but because it's quite hard, but this is what I'm thinking. Perhaps you're getting messages and you, because, yeah, all right, I'll just leave it like that. All right, so how is it affecting you right now? Let's have a look at how this is affecting you right now. Oh, that come up straight away. Oh, look at that. We got the Five of Wands. What did I just say that I got burnt at the stake? What does that look like? It almost looks like that she is actually sitting in the fire, isn't it? Have you actually got a fear of fire in this life? Okay. Is it something that you are naturally scared of in this particular life? You know, are you in an area where there's a lot of bushfires and it's been freaking you out more than it should? You know, has fire always been something that you've been scared of? Because this is what I've got. I know the lesson's overcoming fear, and perhaps deep down you've been looking at the witchcraft path, but you've been a little, you've been a little bit hesitant of it, even though, you know, we've got rebel and this is the past life, but the thing is, you might be hesitant of it because you don't know. Oh, I'm trying to get out the words and I can't get them out. You've been hesitant of it because of what's happened in the past, I think. Okay. It's affecting you, right? And I don't know, I just got burnt at this. Maybe you were burnt at the stake, you know, because you were a rebel, you were a narcissist, you didn't believe in the traditional religions and so forth like that. So, yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? The Five of Wands. Even though she looks very calm, smiling. And if you look at the eyes, again, they're looking up, okay? I truly feel that, even though it had happened in the first one, I truly feel that Spirit is trying to make a connection with you. And it could very well be, it's funny because I get air, and I don't know if you like to go up into the mountains and listen. I'm getting Native American, so I don't know if you've even been looking at the way the Native Americans worship, you know, and I think I'm not sure if it's Grandfather Sky. Sorry, I'm not. I know it's got Grandmother, and I did delve into it for a very, very little bit, but it wasn't my path, so I don't walk it. But perhaps that has been, I don't know, I just feel like wind for some reason means something to you as well, okay? All right, I'll leave it at that because this is very funny. This is actually very hard for me to read, but perhaps these images will mean something to whoever's chosen this pile. All right, so now we've got the action to take. So let's have a look at the action to take. Okay, that one come up straight away. And this is the Six of Thorns, which is actually the Six of Swords, the action to take. So I feel like you need to leave something behind. I wonder if you've had a past life aggression and it's really affected you. I wonder. I don't know. But there is something you definitely need to leave behind. Now, unlike most Six of Swords cards, you don't see any turbulent water and going into the smooth. This is all smooth. So this is telling me now there's going to be smooth sailing from now on for you, okay? If you've got a fear of fire, perhaps you need to see a therapist or something like that, get hypnotized or whatever, go back, I don't know, or perhaps you already have and this has come up and it's frightened you. But it's going to be smooth sailing, and you know, water puts out fire as well. So your emotions will be soothed. So the action to take is to leave whatever is distressing you behind, basically. So now we're going to look at a message from your past life. Okay, a message from your past. So this is yourself from a past life giving you a message. Let's see what it says. I've got two here. So I've got the King of Wands. That fits in there. And the Six of Cups. So that's interesting, isn't it? And because the Six of Cups is to do with the past, isn't it? So you need to put something from the past to rest, okay? Definitely. I do feel it is with your past life, okay? You need to put something to the rest. And since your lesson was overcoming fear, if you're fearful all the time, you need to put that to rest. And I think I think you need to see a therapist, because if you look at this King of Wands, there's an empty chair there, and you can almost say that the Isabel Snail there is an actual therapist. You need to sit down and talk to someone to be able to put the rest to past. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, definitely. Then a Six of Cups isn't always like a sad cup. A sad card, you know, it definitely isn't, but it's in this one I feel, yeah, there is some sort of sadness that you need to put to rest to the past, and I think therapy would be good for you. All right, so this is your past life telling you this, okay? Or perhaps even it's not a therapist, it could be someone that you know, someone who you can trust, that you can talk to, who's always there, who's always got your back. Okay, all right, let's see what the message from your guides are. Message from your guide. That one come up straight away. Oh. And we've got the Four of Cups. Okay, the Four of Cups. Message from your guides. Right. And the first thing what I'm noticing is that the little boat there, look, there's a boat. This time the snail, so you can see the silver trail is going up across and towards the boat. So this is message from your guides is definite, is not to focus on any loss that may be happening. Okay, not to focus on it. You need to move on. All right, you need to move on. All right, because don't forget your even though you know you've got as a current life lesson as being, oh, let me get back down, as greed, you know, and distant relation is pretty good, I think, because it's got saying grace and authority and you know, humility. You're very humble and things like that, but don't do it to the detriment of your own happiness. Okay, this is a bit of a funny reading, so I don't know how this is actually going to resonate with group number 2. I have to say it's been really difficult to read, and often when it's difficult to read, it's got meaning. So I'm hoping, you know, that these images will have some type of meaning for you. Okay, because I have to say it's very, very yeah, it's hard to do, I'm not gonna lie. And that's how it should be. Tarot reading shouldn't always come easily, should it? No, I don't think so. All right, let's have a look now at number 3. Put these cards to the side, and let's have a look. Now this is quite interesting because your current life, your past life is forgiveness and trauma. Okay, so with forgiveness is your lesson may have involved learning forgiveness. You were likely presented with trials or injustice which you were challenged to release bitterness, anger or blame. For some, perhaps you needed to learn how to communicate your feelings and boundaries. All right, now with trauma, so the card is war, but trauma come up. You may have been wounded in battle, held hostage, lost a loved one, or endured another type of trauma due to war. For some, it could be that your home or village was pillaged or destroyed. Okay, Now, this is quite interesting because your current life, I kid you not, lesson is forgiveness. Okay, this is your current life. There's something in your past life that you didn't forgive. There is something now in your current life that you find very hard to forgive, and your archetype was abandonment. Okay, and this is your current life. All right. So the same thing happens for this life. You're still trying to learn how to forgive. Forgiveness from a past life, there's something that you're finding hard to forgive in a current life, and then you've got abandonment. And so for abandonment, it means that you're a wounded soul who may find it hard to open your heart to others or trust that you can be supported and loved. It's likely someone important in your life abandoned you, either physically or through neglect. Consequently, you may feel guarded, expecting others to abandon you when you need them the most. So perhaps, because this has got loss of a loved one, maybe you've gone through a divorce, maybe a parent abandoned you or something like that. But somebody has hurt you and you can't forgive them either. Now, forgiveness is a funny thing because I've always heard that, you should forgive, you should forgive and forget and all of that. Well, I'm here to tell you that I will never forgive my first husband for what he put me and my daughters through. Never, never, never. But it hasn't eaten me up alive, okay? I don't think about him at all. Really don't think of it. I said to my youngest daughter, if I didn't have you two, it would just feel like they only married Aaron and nobody else, okay? So, but I can't forgive him and I'll never forgive him, but it doesn't weigh heavy on me. All right, it doesn't weigh heavy on me. But for you, I feel like it definitely weighs heavy on you, okay? So if you lost a loved one in a past life, and again, the same thing has happened, it somehow has to do with forgiveness in some way. So you're going to have to try and forgive something, I feel, in your life to be able to move on. There's something that you need to forgive. And of course, I can't tell you, what that is. Those who are watching this, who've picked this group, will know exactly what it is. So for you, I've actually got this deck. Do you think I can think what it's called now? The Bonefire Tarot. It's written right on the back. So yeah, and I've edged mine in a hot pink, which actually the creator of the deck absolutely loved it when she saw it. So what this card is, what your past life brings to your present. Let's have a look what your past life is bringing to your present life. Oh, that one nearly flew out. Look at that, the 5 of Cups, sadness. Hey, how sad looking is that? What your past life brings. I feel like too that you probably feel sad and you don't even know why. So you too could be going through depression, bipolar, or something like that. And I think it stems from a past life, from something that's happened in a past life. You just feel sad all the time. You'll notice with this 5 of Cups, you can only see one cup standing up in the water. All the others, oh no, there's the other one. I tell a lie. And I don't feel like it's just for you to turn around and look at the ones that are still standing. You've got a great deal of sadness from your past life that's affected you in this life. The same things happen. I do feel like it's got to do with the family front, with the family home, because I feel like that represents a family home and that you can't put it behind you, whatever it was that has happened, okay? So yeah, this is, I can't tell you how freaking sad I feel when I look at this card, that I feel like I want to cry. That's how sad I feel, okay? So this is what your past is bringing to your present. You need to forgive yourself for something that's happened in a past life, and forgive yourself probably for something that's happened in this life, perhaps in the past, okay? How is it affecting you right now? Let's have a look. The 9 of Cups, okay, and very different contrasting cards, isn't it? How is it affecting you right now is that you just can't be happy, okay? The 9 of Cups is a wish card, and I feel like that you wish a lot, that you wish you could just be happy. Now, if you are suffering from depression, you need to go on medication, okay? Because your emotions, look at this water, your emotions are all over the shop. One day you're up, one day you're down, and this could be a sign of bipolar. Now, I know about bipolar because my youngest daughter is bipolar, and she doesn't got a problem about me letting people know, okay? She's quite fine with that because more awareness is out there. So if you've got this rapid peddling of being happy one minute, down the next, it could be because of that. and you need to take medication. And what I'm very drawn to is perhaps you have taken 9 different types of medication and you still aren't happy because it's not the right one. All right, it's not the right one. And sometimes it'll take many years before you find that. It took 6 years before my daughter even got diagnosed properly. You can imagine how many different medications that she took. It is a long, hard progress. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're depressed and you need to take medication, you've got a long, hard road ahead of you. And I'm not saying that to frighten you. I'm in a great, through my cancer videos, I'm straight out there telling you what's happening. And I believe when it comes to depression, you can't just say, oh, look, you find, everything's great, you find the right medication, you'll be happy from now onwards. Sometimes even when you are, my daughter, she's on the right medication now, but sometimes she still gets down. It's part of the disease, okay? And this is stemming from your past, all right? You've got forgiveness in this life as well. You've got abandonment issues. This 9 of Cups is telling you that how it's affecting you right now. You feel like you can't be happy at all, okay? That's what you're feeling. But you will be happy, but you've got to work at it, okay? Don't cross your arms like that and don't try anything. It'll happen, okay? It will happen, but you're going to have to work at it. And I'm really attracted to the crystal ball here, and I feel like that crystals may help you in this, okay? Crystals really helped me a lot in my when I was going through chemo. I've hardly got I think my side effects, well, I knew because I had 2 lots of chemos, and the 3rd time I took some crystals with me and I hardly got any reaction out of it. It was so much better. So I feel crystals may help you. On top of my head, just to give you can actually get some, oh no, I knew I was going to forget this one, lithium. Okay, that's a lithium crystal there, very good for depression. You can get some tourmaline as well, just to to help you. It's a stone of protection. There's many other stones. Probably you might like some rose quartz to give yourself some love. Some green aventurine as well is very good, that sort of thing. But I feel like crystals will help you, okay? Maybe go see a crystal therapist or something like that. All right. So this is how it's affecting you right now. You feel like you're not going to get your wish, you're not going to get happy. I'm telling you, you will, all right? So let's have a look at the action to take, all right? And this one popped up before I could even hardly shuffle, and it's the Ace of Wands. Action to take is that you're going to have to be proactive. You're going to have to start doing something. You know what I looked at? You know what I saw straight away? You need to go and medicate. Look at these. As soon as I saw that, I thought they were capsules. It's actually eggs in a bird's nest. As soon as I saw that, it was capsules. Have you been fighting against taking medication for your feelings of sadness? Don't. You need it, all right? You need it, and it'll light the fire behind it. It'll burn it away. It'll burn it away, but you're going to have to work with it. You will be happy, okay? But the action to take is you need to be proactive in it. You can't just wish that that it would go away, because it's not going to happen. You have to be proactive at it, all right? You're going to have to have some get up and go and find what it is. Now this wand, and because it's got this, reminds me of crystal, again, of a crystal wand. I haven't really got a crystal wand. I've got, oh yes I have, I tell a lie. I have got a, like a selenite wand. That's very good for clearing negative energy as well. I've also got my Lemurian quartz as well. Just see what it is. But I do feel like that, oh, actually I've got this one as well, little beautiful double terminated clear quartz. So I just feel like, I feel like crystals will help you. I do. I really do. But I think you need to see a crystal therapist, or even become one like I did. Just become one. So that's action to take, is to be proactive in it, all right? So now let's see what the message from your past life self is to you now, all right? All right, that one's very jumpy. Oh, 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups. Let's move that to the side. Message from you. And you know what I get out of that? Is to love yourself, all right? To love yourself. Oh, I'm nearly crying looking at this card, okay? I feel really emotional. If you have been abandoned in this life by someone, okay, this card is telling you that you need to love yourself, and the right person will come for you, okay? When you, because I suffered from depression for many, many years, but I never kind of gave up that I would be happy. I always thought I would be happy, all right? And once I believed that and made some changes to my life, like left, you know, finally got the guts to leave my husband after a massive big fight again. Told me to put the house on the market because he was sick of living in Melbourne and I was in South Australia. Anyway, so I did. I was sick of it. I was like that in the bedroom, and I was sick of it. I'm going to do it, and I did it. And of course, then he rang up on the Monday to apologise. Said, "Oh, it's too late. Put the house on the market." 2 weeks later, I met my now husband, and I'm not going to say this is going to happen to you so quickly, but once you get in the headspace that yes, you deserve to be happy. Yes, I will be happy. You will be happy, okay? Just like this Nine of Cups promises you. You will be happy, but you need to be proactive into it. You need to put the sadness from the past behind and again in this particular life. You might have to forgive somebody in this life, okay? And if you do have to forgive somebody, what I suggest is you write it all out on a piece of paper and then burn it and then bury the ashes in the garden and let Mother Earth take care of you, okay? But for you, a message from your past life is that you will be happy, and perhaps I even get this sort of vibe that you'll be reunited with somebody from a past life, your soulmate as well. But you need to learn to love yourself first, and then this person will come into your life. I'm telling you this, I can't tell you enough. And this is funny because my daughter actually went and lived in England for 2 years, okay, and I did a little reading for her and I got the Two of Cups. I said, you know what, I reckon you're going to meet somebody over there. Yeah, Mum, no, I'm only going there to travel. Guess what? She's engaged now. And they're trying to get a visa so he can actually come and live here. So this is really telling me that you will be happy. I just can't tell it enough, all right? And this is your past self telling you now in this life, all right? But you must be proactive. All right, let's have a look at what the message from your guides are, all right? Message from your guides. I've forgotten how nice these cards read. I haven't worked with them for a long time. All right, this one's popped right up. Oh, the Magician. I'm just gonna. Oh, where can I put that? I don't know. I'll cover up this one, hey, because I want you to put your sadness behind you. All right, and the Magician. And what's the Magician saying? Is once you're proactive without doing things, it's telling you that you've got all the tools that you need. Of course, even though you probably don't think you have. Well, you have. Okay, Group 3, you have got the power to change whatever it is that you want, all right? We've got a beautiful rose there. Roses in spirit always mean love, okay? There is love for you. Spirit is telling you that they love you, okay? Spirit is telling you that they're there for you. Spirit is telling you that you will be happy, okay? But you need to be proactive. You need to put that sadness behind you. You truly, truly do. Once you do that, I tell you, once you get in that right mindset of, yes, damn it, I do but deserve to be happy. I'm sick of being sad. Your life will change in ways that you do not know. Even though I've been through cancer, okay, I'm still happy, all right? I'm still happy because I've got a beautiful life, you know? I've got a beautiful life. Got a beautiful marriage. I'll be married to Aaron now for 18 years next January. I'm happy. I'm still happy, even though with all that I've been through, okay? I'm still happy. You can do it, all right? You can do it. I can't stress it enough. And that's exactly what your guys are saying, okay? You got the Magician there. You know, the Magician is full of tricks. Full of tricks, you can do it. And you know, there's a dove here, dove there, there's peace for you. But, you know, use that wand, okay? Be proactive in it. All right? That was a really intense reading. So intense, I'm going to pull a oracle card just for a collective message for all of us. And the one I'm going to pull it through is the Wild Offering by Tosha Silver. And let us have a look what this oracle card will sum up for all of us. Not just group number 3, but I think for all of us. What's the great message that we can take from this reading? I think... Ooh, this is shuffling quite a lot. Oh, that's too many cards. Gosh, there's a chunk of them. I just want one, I think, for a message for all of us. All of you who've been through, sat here and watched this whole video, which is like an hour. but it's impossible to do these under that because you really need, you know, it's a lot to go into, a lot to go into. I don't know if in future if I should actually do 3 videos or, no, I don't think I will. Can't be bothered editing 3. All right, this one's tipped to the side. Oh, you just gotta love spirit, don't you? Actually, I haven't shown you, these are the backs of the cards. Aren't they beautiful? Ganesh, absolutely love Ganesh. And here we have got the card and it says doubt. Offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises. But you can say, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. And now I'm sure all of us doubt ourselves at some, we all do. You can't, there's no way all of us can be 100% happy and not doubting. Of course, when I got my cancer diagnosis, you know, there was a little bit of doubt. Shit, you know, am I going to die? You know, but I've had so many wonderful signs, so many beautiful signs, you know, that I'll be okay. But, you know, there's always going to be a little bit of doubt there. And this is actually what I've been doing. I've been releasing any doubt that I've got within me. I've been just handing it over to the angels and to the goddess and the gods, my guides, just saying to just basically, you know, release me of the fear, of the doubt and things like that. So I think this is a really good card for all of us when we doubt, is just give it to the divine to fix for you. Just let all your fear go. Give it to the divine, whatever the divine means. If that's Jesus, God, Mother Mary, the angels, the goddess, the God, whoever it may be, even if it's just a tree in the path that you've got a good connection to, release it all. In fact, I have got a tree I've got a connection to, and I often always used to touch it. And funny enough, I always used to feel energy traveling up my left arm. This is even before I knew I had breast cancer. Okay, so this tree was actually healing me. I've only just recently started walking again, and now when I touch the tree, I don't feel the energy now. Just every now and again, very, very slight, very, very slight. That's a good sign for me, you know, very, very good sign. So there you have it, people. Doubt. Just let it go. All right. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I really enjoy making these videos. They take a lot out of me, so I don't know how often I can do them, but I really do enjoy them. I think they're helpful. You know, this is what I want my channel to be, more helpful on a spiritual side. You know, on spirit. Anyway, until next time. This is Tracy.